Hey guys, today on People Now, inside this week's People cover story paying tribute to the life of Luke Perry.
Also today,
yo, killing me with this.
What sets R. Kelly off in his explosive interview with Gayle King? We'll discuss.
Plus,
did you see when Ramona tried to kiss me? I was sort of like, oh my God.
Yeah. Real Housewife of New York, Sonja Morgan, gets real with us about kissing her castmates and all kinds of drama in store this season on the show.
The women of The Bachelor told all Tuesday night. It got awkward, it got emotional, and Colton was in a shower most of the night. It was weird.
Ty Pennington, Doug Wilson, and Paige Davis are back with the second season of the Trading Spaces reboots.
They join us live today on People Now. Let's go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Good to see you.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Last night's Women Tell All was very intense.
It was
the most dramatic one yet.
Such a whirlwind episode. It aired last night. The ladies definitely did not hold back at all. The night ended in some pretty epic confrontations.
Yeah, so we want to know, what do you think was the craziest moment of the Women Tell All? Was it the intense Onyeka versus Nicole Spiff? Was it Katie going all out and naming names? Maybe it was Courtney and that pacifier? That moment was
Such
wild.
a gimmick. That was crazy.
Or last one, was it Demi's major shade when she introduced Courtney, which I thought was really funny.
That was funny.
All right, vote for your favorite moment of the night or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag PeopleNow.
Can't wait to hear what you have to say. We'll check in on those answers and break down last night's Women Tell All episode in just a bit. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. We switch gears to a more serious, the sad story we've been talking about. This week's People cover story pays tribute to the life of Luke Perry, who died Monday from complications of a stroke. In the issue, we're highlighting tributes from his closest friends, his former castmates, and the people who knew him before he hit it big in Hollywood. A former classmate of Perry's at Fredericktown High School in Ohio told People there was no one else like him, adding he never stopped being hometown and we loved him for it. Another classmate recalled Perry entertaining crowds as the school's mascot, saying he had so much spunk. And after high school, the guy who was voted biggest flirt in his yearbook headed to Hollywood. Those classmates remembering him well. And after stints on a couple soap operas, Perry landed his coveted role as heartthrob Dylan McKay on the hit 90s series 90210. Nearly 2 decades after the series went off the air, his friendships with those former co-stars really endured. Actress Shannon Doherty said that she will miss her co-star and longtime friend every day, adding Luke was a smart, humble, and complex man with a heart of gold and a never-ending well of integrity and of love. Just last week, he was texting with Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth, proudly gushing about his 18-year-old daughter, Sophie. Sophie broke her silence on Instagram Tuesday, thanking everyone for their love and support. She said in part, quote, "I'm not really sure what to say or do in the situation. It's something you aren't ever given a lesson on how to handle, especially when it's all happening in the public eye. So bear with me and know that I am grateful for all the love, just being grateful quietly." Sophie rushed back to Los Angeles from a trip in Malawi and was by her father's side at the time of his death. Sophie was born to Perry and his ex-wife Minnie Sharp in 2000. Perry and Sharp also share a son, Jack, who was born 3 years earlier. In addition to Jack and Sophie, his ex-wife and Perry's fiancée, Wendy Madison Bauer, were by his side at the time of his death. Perry was 52 years old. Now take a look at this.
Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave out 30 years of my
Robert.
Wow, things getting really intense there. That's R. Kelly in his shocking first interview since his arrest. The segment, hosted by Gayle King, aired Wednesday on CBS This Morning. As you can see there, at one point in his over 80-minute sit-down with King, Kelly becomes hysterical, lunging out of his seat, pacing around the room. His publicist then stepped in to calm him down, kind of powder his face. They helped Kelly regain his composure. This is the first public statement R. Kelly has made since being released on bail after being charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. The renewed interest in the allegations against R. Kelly came from the widespread attention of the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, in which 7 accusers and former confidants of Kelly come forward alleging that he was an abuser. R. Kelly insisted that his accusers are lying and became increasingly defensive during Wednesday's interview, at one point speaking directly into the camera. Take a look at this.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement.
While speaking to Gayle King, R. Kelly insisted that the power of social media and the court of public opinion has wrongly convicted him, particularly of crimes that he was acquitted for in the past. When King asked Kelly about the nature of his relationship with 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage and 21-year-old Azriel Clary, who both currently live with Kelly, he had this to say.
What is your relationship with them?
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, you know, we have a relationship. It's real.
The fact that they're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal.
King pressed further, asking whether or not Kelly had an affinity towards pursuing young women, to which he responded, "I love all women." Moments prior, when King began to ask about his current relationships, R. Kelly said, quote, "Don't go there," and asserted that it wasn't uncommon for men to have 5 or 6 girlfriends at once. Lawyer Michael Avenatti, who you may remember represented Stormy Daniels, is now representing the parents of Azriel Clary, who, as we mentioned, is currently living with R. Kelly in Chicago. Her parents believe that she's been groomed and brainwashed by the singer. In a series of tweets since the interview aired, Avenatti says R. Kelly's tears are out of fear and despair. He continues to say he is a much better singer than he is an actor. Avenatti adds he knows that he has been caught. Michael Avenatti released a statement on Twitter from Alice and Angelo Clary, who claimed, quote, "We have never received a penny from R. Kelly. We have never asked R. Kelly for money. We never sold our daughter to him or anyone else. R. Kelly is a desperate liar and serial abuser of young girls who should die in prison. All of the victims and parents cannot be lying." That was their statement. During his appearance on CBS this morning, Kelly also addressed what he referred to as assassination, acknowledging that some people have referred to him as Lucifer, but he added, "I'm a man, I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster." He also shot down the notion that his alleged history of abuse is as cult-like, saying, "I don't really know what a cult is, but I don't have one." Kelly also expressed concern for his family life. He said, "I'm not fighting for my career here. I'm fighting for my rights and to have a relationship with my kids." R. Kelly is due in court on March 22nd. We'll keep you posted on that. On to this. HBO's Leaving Neverland documentary has been making headlines because it's just so shocking, controversial. It's full of these alleged bombshells. Now, multiple radio stations in New Zealand and Canada have reportedly dropped Michael Jackson's music from their playlists. And through the doc, we are learning how the Neverland Valley Ranch was used to hide Michael Jackson's alleged abuse. The two accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, claim that the ranch was full of hidden bedrooms, warning systems, and other features that facilitated Jackson's alleged sexually abusive behavior. The pair claim Jackson used his infamous California compound to mesmerize the two when they visited the ranch. Safechuck identified numerous secret rooms and secluded places that Jackson would take him to allegedly abuse him, including what he calls an Indian fort, a guest house far from the main residence, a hidden bedroom above the arcade, in a suite in Jackson's private movie theater, and a third-floor attic. Safechuck claims that because the alleged abuse happened in these kid-friendly places on the ranch, playtime and abuse kind of blended together. In the doc, Safechuck reveals, quote, he had an Indian fort with teepees so we could lay down sleeping bags, have snacks, and then have sexual relations there. There's a third-floor attic. It was kind of secluded. You could only get to it from these steep stairs. You could tell if somebody was coming, so we would go in there and have sex. That's his quote. Safechuck also alleges Jackson had a basic alarm system in place to hide his alleged abuse, claiming a bell would ring if anyone entered the long hallway that led to that master suite. Meanwhile, Wade Robson's mom, Joy, points out in the doc how the ranch just seemed like a fairyland with beautiful lakes and lights, but she claims the sheer size of that 2,700-acre property helped the pop star keep his alleged victims hidden away from their parents. The revelations in this, the allegations, are truly mind-boggling. Check out that doc if you haven't. Now we move on to this story. Olivia Newton-John is alive and well after a rough few months battling stage 4 breast cancer. In this week's People, the Grease star is setting the record straight after multiple tabloids reported that she was near death in January. But she does admit that it's been challenging, even revealing that she spent the last 6 months recovering from a fractured pelvis, which is a side effect of the weakening of her bones due to cancer, which ironically caused her to spend her 70th birthday in the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Center in Melbourne, Australia. The big birthday bash that she was planning for the milestone turned into a quiet dinner with close friends and family in that hospital. But she stayed positive through it all. Here's her quote. I never say why me. I was like, wow, I'm in my hospital that I dreamt of building for people to have rest and peace. And there I was getting the best care. It was quite magical. The Australian native has shown a strong sense of optimism through all of this. She added, "Everyone has difficulty in their life. I try to live in the moment and enjoy right now, which is all we have." Good words from her. All right, the star was first diagnosed with cancer in 1992. She also secretly overcame a relapse in 2013. Coming to grips with her aggressive form of cancer, it has been a process for the singer. But she's thankful to have her husband, John Easterling, and her daughter, Chloe, there to be her support system. For more on Olivia Newton-John's life and health, you can pick up a copy of People on newsstands Friday. Now take a look at this.
I know death. He's got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
The trailer for the 8th and final season of Game of Thrones is here, guys. Woo! Fans have been waiting nearly 2 years for the last season. It's set to premiere on HBO next month. The trailer, it has some major teases for what's to come. Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert Tuesday to talk a little bit about the finale season. While he obviously wouldn't spill any major details or finale secrets, Kit did reveal the reaction that he had when he first read the show's ending. Watch.
I was very shocked and surprised at certain events unfolding, and then I blubbered my eyes out. I cried.
You cried?
Yeah, I cried.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it has a happy ending. Everybody.
There you go. The final season of Game of Thrones. It drops April 14th on HBO.
So excited.
Very excited
waiting
for that.
so long.
I know, right? I can't imagine that's going to be so highly viewed.
It's going to be epic.
Everyone's going to be locked in. Until then, you have more for us on Star Trek.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Trek today with a new, or more like old, relationship. It looks like Ben Affleck and Lindsay Shickus have rekindled their romance. Ben was recently spotted with his on and off again ex in New York City on Sunday at the premiere of his new Netflix film, Triple Frontier. So they didn't walk the red carpet together, but Lindsay was seen leaving the premiere by his side. A friend of Lindsay's confirms the pair has picked up where they left off, while a source close to Ben tells people he loves to be with her, adding they still are both focusing on their families. So if you remember, the duo split nearly 7 months ago amid Ben's latest alcohol relapse, when his ex-wife Jennifer Garner ended up driving him to a treatment facility. However, Ben is in a much better place now. In a recent interview to promote his new film, the actor opened up about his ongoing battle with alcoholism, saying it doesn't bother him to talk about it and calling alcoholism just part of his life. A source tells people his focus is now on his kids that he shares with his ex-wife and on making sure he is more present. Ben actually credits his daughters Violet and Serafina and his son Sam for keeping him centered. Very, very happy to hear things are going well for Ben. Well, Real Housewives of Orange County star Vicki Gunvalson is one proud mama. The reality star gave a shout out to her daughter, Brianna Culberson, and her son-in-law on Instagram on Tuesday for losing more than 85 pounds combined since last summer. Talk about fitness goals and relationship goals, they have it all. Vicki reports her daughter is feeling better and healthier than she has in a while, and it's all because of the keto diet. So earlier this year, Brianna revealed her weight loss was thanks to the low-carb, high-fat diet, and that it's helped her with lupus, the chronic illness she revealed in the Real Housewives of Orange County season 11 finale back in 2016. So lupus is an incurable autoimmune disease that causes joint pain and fatigue. Brianna shared this side-by-side comparison of her face, both before and after beginning the keto diet, writing, "The face on the left is of an average American diet, never felt good, having constant lupus flares, on and off steroids for almost a year." She added, "The face on the right is strict keto, steroid-free, and lupus flare-free." Now, though the diet may have helped Brianna, there are a lot of people who have questioned the diet's safety. One of those people is celebrity trainer Jillian Michaels. So she called it a bad plan in her interview with Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live back in January. This caused quite the controversy, with Andy even giving her the Jackhole of the Day award. He was not very happy. Either way, we are very happy to hear Vicki's daughter Brianna has found what works for her and that she's doing well, and she looks great. Captain Marvel hits theaters on Friday, and its stars are out in full force to get us excited. Woo! We have the incredible Samuel L. Jackson, the strong and beautiful Brie Larson, and Goose the cat. Yes, this adorable orange tabby cat stars in the upcoming Marvel flick. Looks like he's making the rounds here. By looking at this poster, it's safe to assume that Goose's role is pretty significant. He even has his own Twitter hashtag, and the Twitterverse is loving him. Let's take a look at some of these tweets. Sophia says the attention Marvel has been giving to this cat leads me to believe that Goose the cat will defeat Thanos. Here's another one. The only character poster that matters. Jeremy, you saw it. He has a pretty big role.
He's a big role, yeah. It's surprising, actually.
Yeah.
And pretty funny at moments.
I'm into it. And People's Entertainment editor J.D. Heyman actually had a chance to interview Goose.
Oh, whoa.
So let's take a look at this.
All right, Goose, it's time to have the most important conversation of the night, and that is what your favorite Marvel superhero is. Now, I figured this would be your favorite, Black Panther, because there's a whole feline connection. You know what I'm saying? Wow. How about this patriotic choice, Captain America? What do you think? Captain America? How about this, Iron Man? Great facial hair, terrific. No? You won't even look at him.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised the cat isn't even staying on that little thing.
That's the most
right?
impressive part of the whole deal.
Yeah, he's really cute, though. Those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, as we move forward, stay with us. Real Housewives of New York City's Sonja Morgan dishes on her sassy new tagline, Dorinda and Luann's feud, and much more ahead of tonight's season premiere. So much drama. Plus, we're joined live by Paige Davis, Ty Pennington, and Doug Wilson from Trading Spaces. These guys are so much fun. We can't wait to talk to them about all that's coming up in season 2.
All right, we've been asking about your favorite moment from last night's Wild Women Tell All Bachelor episode. Let's check in on the results. I think this will be close. According to the pacifier, that was people's favorite moment. I'm surprised.
Well, it was the biggest, most confrontational moment, right? Literally physically confrontational, but then Demi is coming in number
It seemed
2
like from
there.
the audience reaction that more people were taking Demi's side.
Yeah, we'll talk
You're
about
not,
it.
Jeremy's not a fan.
Not there for it. Keep voting. We have a recap of that episode in just a little bit, but now we move on to this.
All right, can we talk about Brie Larson? She is having a serious moment right now with the new movie Captain Marvel, so we're getting to know her better in this week's issue of People.
Love Brie Larson. Looking back, though, Brie was only 26 when she won an Oscar for 2015's Room. Love that movie. She played the serious role, kidnapped sexual assault survivor. It really put her on the map.
Really heavy stuff there. She's now playing Captain Marvel. This makes her the first female superhero to lead a Marvel movie.
Wonder Woman was DC.
Yeah. But she tells people that she feels transformed and is okay with the fact that doing the right thing doesn't please everyone. That's the quote she said to People.
Here's the thing. Brie is an overcomer. She's an independent woman doing her thing. She's been through a lot. She's still thriving. Recently split with her fiance. Fans might remember headlines about that. Her fiance, Alex Greenwald, were engaged for about 3 years. People reported their split in January, but she's doing her thing now, moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to go through and also doing Captain Marvel. But, being the first Marvel superhero leading a movie is a huge deal.
The first woman.
The first
female doing
woman,
it,
yeah. I mean, she'll inspire and encourage lots of young women. A lot of little girls are going to be looking up to her. And she tells people she always wanted to play strong women.
Here's what I love, this story. She wanted to be Princess Leia. So that she had this story as a preteen. She had convinced herself Star Wars was going to do a movie where they would need a young Princess Leia. She would be the one to audition for that role. She would wear this oversized Princess Leia shirt that she was obsessed with. I think it's a really cute story.
It's adorable to then look back and now see where she is now. I love that. And when it comes to prep for Captain Marvel, Brie trained in martial arts and boxing for this role. Here's a fun fact. She can lift 225 pounds and can push a 5,000-pound car.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I can push a 5,000-pound car. I can't move it. I can push. Really hard.
Anyway, I think it's very impressive. I'm thinking that she can move it. That's still 5,000 pounds. That's a lot.
No, she's fierce. That's incredible.
I know. She trained for 9 months to play Captain Marvel. She tells people, I was like, I'm just going to hit it as hard as I can, see how far I can go. I never would have thought I could hip thrust 400 pounds in my life. I love the space that my brain gets into when I'm doing it. You just feel more capable. I mean, that quote makes me feel very not capable.
Inadequate.
I'm pretty incompetent now.
She's definitely more confident now. She says that playing Captain Marvel and being a part of this franchise was really inspiring for her. Look, the movie, it's getting some mixed reviews from critics. I saw it. I think it's a good introduction for that character and the way she does it. It's not perfect, but look, what movie is? I think it's worth seeing. Though.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it. Captain Marvel hits theaters Friday, March 8th.
Check it out.
You go out there and you find your chosen family.
Just like a miracle. Say nothing's impossible now.
Season 1, Season 2, you've got to remember, we didn't know each other. They were complete strangers and we had to be best friends. Now we actually are best friends, so it makes for a much stronger season.
Queer Eye Season 3 drops on Netflix March 15th. We cannot wait, and we just love how much these guys have grown to really love each other.
And we're highlighting our favorite celeb besties all this month in our friendship series brought to you by Extra Gum. Now, the Fab Five are our besties of the day today, so it's interesting to hear Tan France talk about how they weren't that close in the beginning and how their friendship kind of grew and evolved.
Yeah, we were curious, though. How well do they know each other now, and who fills what role in the group of friends? We put Karamo Brown to the test with a little game of Queer Eye superlatives. Take a look at this.
Most likely to oversleep.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I literally can fall asleep right now. If you all were still talking, I could just do this.
Well, we put people to sleep all the time.
No.
Most likely to make a last-minute outfit change?
Bobby Burke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most likely to go on an impulsive shopping spree.
Jonathan Van Ness. He will spend tons of money on his cat and on clothes.
I'm most likely to get cranky while hungry. Hangry.
Jonathan Van Ness.
Also hangry, okay.
Yes, he gets hangry all the time.
Most likely to overthink something.
Anthony, look at the meme.
Yeah, right.
You just saw him do this face.
Most likely to dance on a bar.
Karamo Brown.
Most likely to take a private jet.
Ooh, Jonathan or Anthony.
Yeah.
Both. Oh my gosh. No, it's Jonathan. Can I tell you? He's gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
The other day we were all shooting season 3, and he said, "Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I took a public plane." And we all looked at him and were like, "You mean just a plane?"
Finally, most likely to go skinny dipping. Uh-oh.
Karamo, Bobby, Jonathan.
Karamo, it's so good to talk to
Hold
you.
on, I didn't say Tan for any of those.
Yeah.
Tan is not boring. I'm sorry, like,
What's Tan most likely to do if you had to think of something?
cuss us all out.
Get it together, everybody.
Get it together. It's early in the morning. I'm not having it, but do it in a very polite British way.
Yeah, right.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
So fun. We'll have more with Karamo a little later in the show, including how he's getting real about his past drug abuse. So stick around for that.
All right, guys, The Real Housewives of New York City premieres its 11th season tonight on Bravo. We caught up with Sonja Morgan, who's been with the show since season 3, to talk all things NYC.
So starting with her provocative new tagline.
People call me over the top, but lately, I prefer being a bottom.
Talk to me about the inspiration.
I was just hanging out with the girls who comes up this season, and I say, oh God, I've got a lot of flight hours, and sometimes I don't want to be on top. Even with these young hot guys, I say, you know what, I'm not getting on top. I'm Sonja Morgan.
At some point, you cash it in and say, hey.
But when my gay friends are like, you're a bottom? I'm like, calm down, guys. Double entendre.
That is so funny. From the trailer and from your own Instagram, it's pretty clear it was you making out with another woman, which is always fun. What can you tease about that moment?
Well, the song's getting old, right? I kissed a girl and I like it.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
Well, obviously Sonja Morgan likes it. I usually do, kiss my really close girlfriends, but in that clip you see it's someone I hardly know, and neither do you.
Mama's on fire.
Everyone's saying, who is that? Who is that? Even Luann said to me the next day, who is that?
Is it something that just happens when you're drunk? Or have you had a relationship with another woman? Would you consider that?
Well, I'd always consider anything, but the fact is we were out, we were having fun. It was like sort of a mini Studio 54 for me. We had an eclectic fashion crowd. Everyone was feeling free, and especially me. There's a lot of kissing this season if you look at the trailers. Everyone's kissing everyone. And did you see when Ramona tried to kiss me? I was sort of like, oh my God, that's like incest. She's like my sister.
But she felt left out.
I'm like, come on, Ramona, that's taking a little too far.
Can you imagine partying with her? That's like my life goal. I love her so much. Sonja's castmates Dorinda and Luann used to be best friends, with Dorinda even being a bridesmaid in Luann's wedding. But after a fight in Colombia and at Luann's cabaret, the two haven't spoken since the end of last season.
So we asked Sonja to weigh in on whose side she was on going into the season. Watch.
Really, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Are they both kind of to blame?
Yeah.
You think so?
But if I had to choose one, I was siding with Luann.
Okay.
This season, you'll have to see where we all end.
Does it remind you of like when Bethany and Jill didn't really speak and that whole...
I never could figure that one out either. I just felt so bad. And I feel very bad about Luann and Dorinda as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking on Luann, we see the cabarets kind of come into play here. Are you still performing in the cabarets?
If Luann had her way, I would be, in every show, and gratis, of course. So, because we're friends, how do you, quantify what I should be paid for that? But I really have my own life. I have my fashion collection and my shoes, and I do my burlesque, and I do a little comedy now.
Oh.
Some improv.
Yeah.
Moment in the trailer.
Go to sleep now.
Oh my God.
What's going on there?
There's my point.
It's like Scary
how
Island
funny
Part 2.
was this?
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. You're crazy. Go to sleep.
When she says, go to bed, I'm like, I've heard this before. And then it was like, she put the whammy on me, right? But I feel like, from my horseback riding days, I learned how to take a fall real easy. I didn't fight it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hit my face and I didn't grab for anything. I just went whoop, like the pony where the legs go out. I woke up the next day and I was like totally unscathed. I was like, well, you have to see the show.
Check it out.
So, some new changes this season. Are you happy to have Jill Zarin back filming? What's that been like?
Fun, and you'll see, it's gonna be fun for the viewer to see Jill, and you'll see where she stands with each of us girls. We know last year she came to, Bethany came to the funeral of Bobby, and then you'll see how she is with Tinsley, and how she is with Ramona, and how she is with me, so it's interesting.
Is there anyone not happy to have her back?
Well, I can't tell you that. You're gonna have to see. Jill's always, you have to roll the dice with her.
Yeah.
Because she's a Sagittarius like me. You never know what's going to come out of her mouth.
How about Carol Radziwill? Do you miss her from the cast?
Well, we always miss a cast member. Each person that's on the show brings something, right? We're each so different.
Do you stay in touch with her at all?
I don't keep in touch with anyone, even my castmates. They're always yelling at me, as you know, like, Sonja, you don't stay in touch. Well, I was in Paris eating croissants.
Do you know if Carol and Bethany are speaking at all, what their terms are?
I would venture to guess not.
Okay.
But you'd have to ask Bethany.
Sure.
Yeah.
How would you feel if Alex McCord moved back to New York and joined the cast?
I don't think she'd ever come back.
No?
I think she's happily ensconced in Australia with the family.
And what about Aviva Drescher? Could that ever happen?
I'm not sure Aviva wants to come back to the show either. It's the ones that are on there's a reason, and the ones that are not on, there's a reason.
We knew that Sonja rented out her Upper East Side townhouse, but she told us she's a hands-on landlord. We asked if she ever plans on moving back in.
I want to keep it. It's a large investment, and I'd like to keep it in the family. Maybe my daughter wants to live there.
Switching gears, you were at Andy Cohen's baby shower. That must have been a blast.
So lovely.
Who do you think was the housewife that got the wildest there?
It's a tie, I guess. Marlo got pretty well, but Lisa Rinna killed it. The moves, I couldn't keep my eyes in my head.
So that was surprising.
Lisa Rinna's moves are entrancing.
All right.
And the mouth, I can't keep up with the mouth either.
Well, oh, wow.
Woo!
Wait, in what way?
F-bombs. And I've been on The Housewives now for a long time. We're on season 11, but we've filmed more than 11 years.
Yeah, she whips out the moves. Do you have any go-to moves, like dance moves that you whip out at parties?
I don't have those moves, and honey, I've got moves. That girl has moves.
Next level.
Were there any
next level moves?
Were there any other housewives there that kind of surprised you?
I was surprised how calm Ramona was. Myself, I was surprised that I looked drunk because I wasn't drinking. I had Josh Flagg's, Guardians of LA Jewish event, Jewish honors that night, so I didn't drink at all. And I looked so toasted in front of the camera. But that's okay.
Well, you're at an event like that.
So
I feel like that's reasonable.
Everybody was drinking.
Yeah, you're not going
and I was the only one. The straw that stirs the drink wasn't drinking. Cynthia Bailey had some nice moves. I danced with her and Phaedra. I was surprised to see Phaedra. I was so happy to see her. Yeah. My gift was a forehand massage and facial at the same time. Because he is tired, because he's doing everything, not just being a dad, but being a mom. And traditionally, we do all the work. So I got to give him kudos.
And what was your tip for him? The parenting advice for Andy Cohen?
Well, to take care of yourself, too, and get some rest, and to have those massages and facials, because it's exhausting.
Let's talk about this. You've been on The Housewives now for this number of seasons. What is your highest high from the whole experience as you look back on your whole tenure there?
I'd have to say all of our charity work. For instance, June 30th, I just found out I'm going to be on the, on the Pride float with Andy for Stonewall, and Stonewall is one of my favorite charities. In fact, JP Morgan supports it. So that's the kind of thing that I just love.
How about a moment that you would love to forget?
So I have embarrassing moments in my life in private. So when you're on a reality TV show, they're going to be shown. So like this season, you see me falling at the table. In the old days, no one would see that kind of behavior, but we all have those moments. So I can't say I'd take any of it away because I promised to share my life with the viewer.
And she's loving it, and we are loving it too,
We
by the way.
are.
Catch the season premiere of Real Housewives of New York City tonight, 9/8 Central on Bravo.
And from the East Coast to the West Coast, the dramatic moments on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just keep on coming.
No shortage at all. The end of Tuesday's new episode, Lisa Vanderpump revealed some seemingly incriminating texts between Teddy Mellencamp and John Blizzard, an employee at Vanderpump Dogs who called Teddy to tell her about Dorit and what is now known as Puppygate.
It's the real thing. Now, immediately after the preview for this episode aired, Teddy hopped onto Twitter to fire back about the text. She said, "Neat thing about texts is I can print them out as well," which she makes a really good point
Yeah,
there.
and Teddy stopped by the show. She told us more about her reaction to Textgate. Watch this.
Wow, you're really going all in on trying to clear your name when you've got the dirtiest of hands of all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm in the wrong. I say some nasty things, and I cop to that. But the moral of the story is, it wasn't my idea. When I originally was called and given the information from John Blizzard, he said, "Oh, Lisa's going to tell Dorit you know, so she can use you as bait."
Okay. Are there
So,
other texts that are going to be revealed that paint a clear picture of the whole situation?
Of course, but it's going to take time.
That footage of Lisa with the text
they're
is
printed
crazy.
really huge print.
Now, Teddy says her relationship is good with most of the Real Housewives, but when it comes to Lisa Vanderpump, here's what she told us. She said, "You can't move on from something if one person won't admit their fault. You can coexist. I'm fine coexisting."
There you go. We might be really enjoying kind of watching all this drama unfold. Turns out Puppygate isn't all fun and games. Teddy actually told us she's been receiving a slew of mean tweets this season. Some of them are pretty brutal.
Yeah, they're really bad.
She gave us a little taste of what people have been writing. Take a look.
Okay, so there's like, "Teddy, I hope you rot in hell, you vile, disgusting creature. Teddy, you're disgusting looking. How could your husband ever marry you?"
But you're really hot, so first of all, you're like,
have you looked around?
"Teddy, I hope Satan comes up and takes over your life and your family." Like, it's...
Just well-wishers. Just a lot of well-wishers. Thanks for watching the show.
I mean, it's like, seriously, here's the thing. I get pick sides, do whatever, like pick your favorites. But like needing to go to that level over this situation is like, let's take a little breather here.
Yeah.
If this wasn't happening, you probably wouldn't be watching the show.
Yeah, right? Hold on, I'm following you.
Okay. Open your eyes and see your new living room.
Oh, man! There we go, back by popular demand last spring after a decade off the air. Trading Spaces kicking off its 10th season overall, Saturday, March 16th.
But the OG home makeover show would be nothing without the brains behind it all. Here joining us now live is Trading Spaces interior designer Doug Wilson, all-star carpenter Ty Pennington with these gloves, and the show's host Paige
You
Davis.
have good props here.
Comes out swinging.
Yeah,
Just had to.
helmets on earlier.
Okay, yeah. There's a
Are you
lot
like
around
that?
here.
Do you always have to play with the props and get in on that?
I'm that. Yes.
He's a big kid.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. We had you guys in studio last year, right before the premiere of the reboot. The reaction's so great to the first season back. What affected your decision to go forward with a second season? Was it a given? Like, we got to do this more? It just felt so good.
It's up to TLC.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No. You guys just decided.
I'd like to do
independently.
another season.
Under contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
The fans spoke. I mean,
Yes.
everyone was so excited when we came back, and we were all so excited to be back.
Yeah.
But to get to do it again is just another rush.
well, we had so much fun. I mean, honestly, like, we've known each other forever because, well, we're just old. And
No, we're older than you used to be.
It's been so much fun, like working with like everyone, and this show is so different and so much fun because there's such a variety of human beings with different styles and personalities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is like a really hilarious season. I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of us, all of us here, have had other shows and done other things. But
Cat juggling, I was doing that.
Yeah, right.
But you know, this was really family for us, and you know, to come back and work together, to banter, fight, hug, kiss, cry.
All of
I
it.
know.
Yeah, they just do life together.
And this season,
That's just with the homeowners.
this season you're adding some unconventional spaces, teacher lounges, attics.
Teachers lounge.
Yes,
Cool.
how does this change it up?
Schools, finally.
And
we still don't have classrooms on our list.
And we're using farm animals for the first time too. Which
So
That
the school
actually
thing,
is
I think, is
Wait,
really
what farm animals?
kidding.
What farm animals?
Mainly
Just
just
it's a surprise. Okay.
But it's good.
I grew up on a farm, so I'm listening for that.
You're gonna love this
Okay.
episode.
I'm a farm boy from Illinois.
Nice, from
You're
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin,
yeah.
yes. Oh, you're a cheesehead.
Yep, that's me.
Well, then you're gonna love this room. It's perfect. It's very country.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had cats as a kid. Does that count? Can I be a part of this
not
conversation?
different
No.
thing,
Okay.
Jeremy.
No.
Let's talk about relationships. They play a part in this season as well. You've got the twins, the sisters, ex-spouses, trading spaces.
Yeah.
How did those family dynamics and those types of things affect the show?
Well, it's confusing, especially with the twins.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Who are we talking
glad
to?
I
you
didn't
know
do that
that
one.
in the twins episode, it was Hildy and Sabrina were the two designers. And Hildy got confused enough that she actually hung a photograph
doesn't
of
take
the
much.
other twin
Wait, really?
husbands
Yeah.
in the
Well,
master
how
bedroom.
would you know the difference?
She thought it was them. She thought it was the homeowner's photograph, but it was really the team she'd been working with.
I think that's a fair mistake.
It is a fair mistake,
but it's funny that
I'm sure the twins switched it out. I don't think the one sister wants to look at her other sister
Let's face it.
and brother-in-law in her master bedroom.
If that's the biggest mistake Hildy made, they're in great shape.
But one of the best things was that we went back to like season 1 or 2 with a couple that we did a show with. They had gotten divorced.
They wanted to trade again.
And they wanted to trade spaces again.
Now that's
that's a
love.
divorce couple.
And a testament to how great the experience was, right? Like, wow.
Oh, they
that
had a great experience.
We either split up or brought them back together.
Maybe you're responsible for all of it. I don't know.
It's hard to say. All original designers are back, except for a familiar face, Genevieve Gorder. She'll be very missed. How did she break the news to you guys?
Well, I woke up with her and her husband, and it was funny, like, you know, I was just right there, and I was like, guys, what's your decision? You know, I was like,
right in the middle of them.
Doing it or not?
You've been really close with her.
She told me personally, and I really appreciated it. She let me know before everyone knew. And I was sad because I think she's just an OG.
And we grew up.
Yeah,
we
she was
grew up
17
We've
when
missed
she
her
was
so
in
much.
television.
But I mean, she's got great stuff going on.
Yeah,
and
she's working with some of the producers I work
hopefully
with on
she'll
my
be
other
able to
shows.
have
So
time to
it's
come
great.
back.
She's working with another family of mine, so it's all good.
Can we talk?
You never know. We're not saying goodbye to her.
She's just not on this season right now.
She's doing some other things, and you know we might see her again.
And by the way, a great little tease for us for the next season, and another reason to keep this reboot going for another season. Maybe she's waiting in the wings.
She's
And the TLC exec team.
This season is really great. It is really like it's old school trading spaces. There are some cool themes that we've put into it to just kind of, I don't know, focus us. That's what he's talking about.
It's a lot of fun.
We did
do
one
need
whole
focus.
episode that's like extreme country and extreme Japanese.
So with all these themes and everything, there are new faces as well that are joining. Talk about some of that and how they step up to the plate in this situation.
Well, I saved up, and I finally wanted to just get my whole face.
Here they are. Look at this.
But they were with us last season. These are the 3 new designers who joined our team last year.
Actually, the new
John
designer
Giddings,
is
Sabrina Soto and Kahi Lee.
Yes.
And we also have the 2 carpenters who joined us last season.
Who also got new faces.
Tudor and
But Micah is with us. A new
Oh, yes,
designer.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, Micah, I'm so sorry.
No, that's...
It's not Micah, it's Mikkel.
Mikkel, how did Mikkel change things up and like play into the, you had to come into this
He
this
fit
club.
right in.
Yeah. He punched me in the nuts right when he showed up. And I was
Like out of the gate.
welcome aboard. I was like, that's...
Struck the right tone.
He did an episode with Vern Yip, and we think it was the best dressed episode of all time.
Yeah, very well dressed.
I think they were both in bow ties.
It was amazing how well dressed they were.
But that did not prohibit them from working.
I'm still not over it though.
Yeah. Something we really like is the fails. The epic trading spaces fails
course you
are
do.
always so funny.
What do you mean? We never fail.
I love it when they hate it.
What
are you talking
about?
When they
Okay,
hate
can we
it.
get a little tease from the season that
Oh my
something
God,
just doesn't
Carter's
go as
mustache
planned?
is thick and bushy. Amazing. I'm gonna watch that episode.
What's a big fail this season that just doesn't go as planned, but it's really funny?
Oh gosh, I think a fail is there's a lot of fails. There's a lot of fails.
Well, there's a couple I think for the first time in Trading Spaces history, Hildy may have adjusted her design to account for something that didn't quite go well overnight.
I went into that room and was like, "What are you doing? You can't."
You weren't there.
Wait, hold on.
Then it was another one she was doing. I was like, I mean, when people are staring at the floor like this, I'm like, even your helpers are like wanting to off themselves. I was like, you've got to change this.
It was all
was a fail.
happy.
Yeah.
All happy this season. There was
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give away like which rooms.
Well, right.
We had a couple of meh reactions.
Is there anybody among the cast that seems the most likely to put one of their cohorts in a situation where an epic fail is probably going to happen? Like, you kind of scour it, you kind of scout it. Ooh.
I try and set everyone up for.
Do you?
Yes.
I feel like that would be your role, Ty.
I mean, I really.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's what made Trading Spaces great in the early years.
And that's why Vern wanted to kill me for so many years.
Is that, Ty would do things, and he would do them intentionally just to mess with you, and then you had to deal with it.
True.
But then, of course, we would bury him with work.
Right,
and,
right.
it was a tit for tat. But that's what made it fun and a challenge.
There's always a way to get back and even the score.
All right, we can't let you go without playing a little game called Trading Spaces Meets Familiar Faces. Ready?
Love it.
So we're going to describe some outrageous houses or decor that belong to a certain familiar celeb. You have to guess who it belongs to.
Oh, God,
right?
I'm horrible.
We're giving you multiple choice here, so you can maybe guess it right.
Yeah,
Ready?
okay.
All right, here we go. We begin with this. Which one of these Real Housewives of Orange County stars has a champagne room in her home? Vicky Gunvalson, Tamra Judge, Heather Dubrow.
Heather Dubrow, because it sounds like Dubrow sounds like some type of French champagne.
Guess what? Ding, ding, ding. You're absolutely right.
He knew that.
Thank you.
All right, nice. Yeah, you knew that right away.
She's
Okay.
got a little button and everything.
Next one. This celebrity's dogs live in their 2-story mini mansion. Is it Kylie Jenner, Paris Hilton, or Chrissy Teigen?
It's got to be Paris Hilton.
Paris.
Okay.
Paris.
Didn't she make the dog accessory famous?
That's right. Let's
The
reveal the answer.
It is
Paris Hilton, everybody. Woo.
Nice.
On a roll. Number 3.
Doug, you got to get this one.
Which of these designers has a fully functioning outdoor bathtub? Vera Wang, Betsy Johnson, Tory Burch.
Betsy Johnson.
Vera Wang.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You watch too much TV.
No, I know Betsy
these
Johnson.
questions in advance.
Yeah, okay, last one. This rapper has a hidden master suite behind a bookshelf in his home. Is it Kanye West, Meek Mill, or Drake? This is I know.
I would say,
seems eccentric.
Hold
I
on,
wanna
first of
say
all, there's
Kanye.
books. There's books.
Oh, so it's not Kanye.
Wow. Wait.
You waited too long.
We guessed not Kanye.
You guys, okay,
Yeah,
kind of right.
it's
Half point awarded.
You guys
yes.
are really good at that, actually. Yeah. Nice job.
You win absolutely nothing. But the pride of
We're used to that.
Paige, Doug, Ty, thank you so much for stopping by.
you.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Everybody, be sure to watch the new season of Trading Spaces March 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern on TLC. Now watch this. All right, guys, today we're sharing even more details about Karamo Brown's new memoir. It's called My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope. Karamo recently stopped by to discuss the book, the new season of Queer Eye, and even his upcoming wedding.
But before we got to the happy stuff, Karamo got deep about his past demons. So now, clean and sober, Karamo is comfortable talking about overcoming his old drug habits. Take a look.
Cocaine became my escape. I went to a place where I was using this drug and using it like early in the morning, in the evening. I mean, I talk about in the book that there was a point that I had my ATM set for fast cash for the amount for an eighth of cocaine, and I would give my card to this strange dealer who I didn't even know his last name so that he could go to the ATM for me and get cocaine out. Wow. I'm like, he could have robbed me blind. That was the low point where I was like, how could you embarrass yourself? I mean, I was in a car one New Year's Eve with my mother, and she was in the front seat and she knew I was using. And I was doing cocaine while she was in the front seat, and the look on her face of hurt, of pain, I was like, ugh. You know, I put my family through that, but I had to forgive myself because going through that allows me to talk to people who have addictions and say, I know what you're going through. Mm-hmm. It allows me to talk to family members who are dealing with someone who has addiction. And whether it's drugs, alcohol, food, exercise, porn, there's so many different addictions. I can speak to that and say, you can grow through this and heal from it.
I mean, such a really revealing information there. He's so open and honest about his struggles, which is really cool to hear. Now, fortunately, these days, Karamo is happy to share his life experiences and his own identity struggle with others kind of looking for help there.
In the new season of Queer Eye, he makes a deep connection with a young lesbian African-American woman. Here's what he had to say about her journey. Watch.
what's universal about her is that a lot of us have these crises with our identity because we walk through the world and people tell us that who we are is not enough. And so we start to hide parts of our identity. We all do it. You know, at some point when we were younger, we had a part of ourselves that we were proud of, and then somebody came in, could have been a classmate, could have been a teacher, could have been a parent that said, ew, that's what you're doing? Ew, that's who you are? And then you start to hide that. For her, she started to hide and feel like she wasn't black enough. She started to feel like she couldn't be a lesbian because she wasn't what the media told her a lesbian looks like. So she was hiding parts of her identity. And what I had to help her to see is that every part of her identity is what was going to make her successful.
I love hearing him explain how all of that kind of plays out. You have to love how all these guys, they step in, they meet a total stranger. Within days, they're all hugging like family.
I know, that's why we always cry watching the show.
Right?
Well, speaking of family, Karamo, who is now engaged to director Ian Jordan, is in the process of planning a wedding. So Karamo promises it's going to be glamorous.
And big and huge.
However, it's been pretty stressful for Ian. So take a look at Karamo and his fiance's very different outlooks on wedding planning.
He's been to the hospital twice now because of anxiety.
Really?
I'm not even joking. I wish this was a joke.
Over the wedding?
Over the wedding.
Okay.
Like, he's been to the hospital twice. We've had to go to the emergency room because he's never had panic attacks, and all of a sudden now he's having a panic attacks because, like, I'm planning this lavish wedding, and he's like we were touring the venue the other day, and literally in the middle of it, he started having a panic attack because it was like, it's like a 32-acre venue, and I'm like, oh, and me over here, I'm like, yes, over there I want the Ferris wheel, and over here I want the horses.
It's gonna put a Kardashians to shame.
Yeah, right? No, actually, this is what it is. So I just was at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, and I saw Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, and literally, I'm not joking, I wanted to run up to them and be like, you don't know me, but you're the competition in my head.
For the wedding.
For my wedding. Like, that veil
That's a high bar.
had.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna try to get as close to that. I mean, obviously they're way more rich, you have more money than me, but that trail she had, I'm designing my situation right now, and trust, my cape is gonna be almost as long.
As Priyanka's veil.
Almost as long.
No, you've rocked the capes before. I can totally picture this is gonna be like a royal engagement. I love it.
You're gonna be one of the people to help carry the cape.
Can I do that? Yeah. Like one of 12 people?
One of the 12 people that's gonna carry the cape in. And the funny part is that we all laugh now until a year from now, we're sitting here in the same spot and we're like, we thought you were joking.
Yeah.
And
that was a heavy cape. I had to work out to carry that thing.
So for Ian, though, now having like serious panic attacks, how are you talking him through it? Because you hope
of all people, right?
Yeah.
I know. Ironically, he does not want to take my advice on any of this. Like, I've been giving him tips and tools of like how to manage his anxiety and stress around this. But like, he's just like, I can't. And I'm just like, baby, breathe, focus. So what I've started to do now is I don't let him know about the plans. And I've realized that has worked for him. Like, he doesn't know that there's going to be 6 horses, and he doesn't need to know why there's going to be.
Let him watch this video.
Yeah, he doesn't need to know why there's 6 horses.
He's gonna watch this video.
As long as he just come in and you're like,
I'm so excited to see the wedding, but I'm still very concerned about Ian.
Poor guy.
I know. I think he'll get through this, Ian.
He
You
will.
got this.
All right, guys. Queer Eye Season 3 premieres on Netflix March 15th. If you can, you need to get out there. Pick up a copy of Karamo's new book, Everywhere Books Are Sold. You're going to love it.
All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for. Woo. We are breaking down Tuesday night's episode of The Bachelor's Women Tell All with People's senior editor, Brianne Heldman. Thanks for being here, Brianne. Of course. This was a dramatic one.
I loved this episode. Some of our producers were like, I was like, no, this is one of the best Women Tell All
ever. It's the best episode of the season. Stuff actually happened.
During the Women Tell All, yes, lots of old feuds were kind of rehashed, starting with Onyeka and Nicole. Nicole accuses Onyeka of bullying. Onyeka believes Nicole is sensitive. Nicole's really the bully. A lot of the women seemed to go with that Nicole was actually the bully. I've always been Team Nicole. I felt a little sorry for her early on because she felt overwhelmed. Who should we believe here?
I don't know, but it was all just so dramatic and so physical. There was so much physical.
Oh, gosh.
Like people standing up. And
well, even Nicole stood up and was crying, of course.
Shockingly, yeah. But yeah, Nicole, I kind of can't get a read. Sometimes I was totally Team Nicole and rooting for her, and other times I was like, maybe she's not all that she's claiming to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if we'll ever have the full answers. There has to be a behind the scenes after this, right?
The behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Another big feud is Demi and Courtney. I mean, there was one wild moment from last night. Let's just say it was pretty crazy. Watch this. think we have.
Demi, you literally have the maturity of a 3-year-old. All you do is talk about yourself and talk about other people all day. Go to timeout. Go to timeout, Demi. Take it to timeout. She just shoved a pacifier in my mouth. Security!
The fact that she had a pacifier and is waiting for this moment is so funny to me. I mean, but these two were feuding all season. Kourtney was always talking about Demi's maturity. I mean, Demi called Kourtney the cancer of the house. What do you make of this feud?
Well, I agree that calling someone the cancer of the house was pretty harsh and pretty extreme.
But then she was really funny when she went back and said, okay, bed bugs.
Yeah, she said, maybe I was wrong. Too much. Bed bugs is better.
Yeah, but I feel like she had bed bugs kind of in her back pocket. Like she knew this was going to be an attack, and she brought it. Look, I kind of fell in love with Demi. To me, she was the villain from the beginning, but then I started to fall in love with her as she kind of opened up and became more vulnerable.
Jeremy's not a huge Demi fan. I think she's fine. I love watching her. I think she's one of the most entertaining characters we've had in a while.
Great for the show, fun to watch. I don't like rewarding obviously bad behavior. I don't know.
You're also watching The Bachelor.
I know, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, I like her overall, but like, they're not my favorite. One of my favorites though, Hannah B. Fan favorite, one of my favorites for sure. Let's talk about her. Always seemed genuine, even if she had those awkward moments throughout the whole thing. Seems to be doing really well though. I thought last night was a great showing for her and a great moment for her to kind of say, look, I'm over it, still looking great, doing her thing. What do you make of the rumors that she could be the next Bachelorette?
I think this was an audition moment for a few people to be the Bachelorette, and she certainly came out the front runner. She looked amazing, she sounded amazing, she was forgiving of Colton, and she was articulate. I kind of got into it.
Yeah, she seems like such a sweet girl too. What did you think of the redo of the toast?
I loved the redo of the toast, and I felt like it was on brand for her. And again, kind of a moment that was like, okay, let's remind everyone that you are not actually bumbling like you were in that first one, in case we want to make you that.
As she said it, I literally was watching. I was like, that was so great for her. She's so adorable. Just won
because it was really
so many people
hard to
over.
get past that first fumble with the toast. You're like, you can't come up with anything.
Like, I don't literally have a word to say.
Let's talk about Caelynn. She's kind of tough to watch. Seems like a lot of girls don't like Caelynn there. There's a lot of hostility there, but she's had a pretty rough run here. She opened up to him about being a sexual assault survivor. I mean, she's definitely not over him. She seemed to be this front runner. So what happened with Caelynn?
I think she was a front runner, and then when she opened up about her sexual assault, people started to fall in love with her, and then things went very quickly 180. I think she just kind of started to come off a little high on the horse, and a little proud and a little sure of her place in Colton's heart, and it backfired.
Yeah. Do you think Colton picked up on that sensibility, that she was maybe a little too confident about it?
I think I ultimately think Colton felt she was too safe of a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, and I felt for her because she's so pained by this, but I mean, it really just comes down to he just likes the other women better.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stomach
Like, you're looking at a baseline of like, he likes all of them a lot, and then it's like you a little more than you, and then,
so bad because she's like, what did I do wrong? It's like, you didn't do anything wrong.
Do you think that she is in the running for Bachelorette?
I think she really, really wants to be.
I think she really wants to be too. Anyway.
I hope not, though. I mean,
the big moment, Colton's turn in the hot seat. He attempted to kind of clear the air. This is after, by the way, he had been in the shower the entire episode. They kept doing the cutaways, literally in the corner of the screen. Look, Colton's coming up, and you'd show him in the shower. I mean, so over the top with it. But former contestant Sydney, she had one burning question for Colton. Watch this.
I just want to know if anyone's picked your flower. Have you plowed any fields?
Plowed any fields, plucked flowers.
Yeah, planted seeds.
Tended the garden.
Tender garden.
Yeah. It's snowing a lot in Denver right now, so like the garden.
Let me cut you off here.
That's one of my favorite Chris Harrison moments ever, actually. I died laughing when that happened. The finale coming up. What do we think? Will Colton leave The Bachelor a virgin or not? What's your read?
I think he will leave The Bachelor a virgin, whether or not he is a bachelor at the moment this was shot on yesterday.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next Bachelor or Bachelorette where we don't have to talk about this every second.
Single time, I know.
Anyway, what are your predictions for the finale? As we know, Cassie left and he kind of chased after her. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, look, he told Cassie he was willing to fight for her, and I think that's what we're going to end up seeing. I think he's going to say a very sad goodbye to Tayshia and Hannah G, and then he is going to go, I think that door that we saw in the promo is him knocking on Cassie's door and proving he wants to fight for her.
Do you think he's even going to have the fantasy suite with with Hannah G, or that's just done. Yeah, at this point, it'd be weird.
Well, he's gonna come back. Yeah, comes back from like his runaway gate thing, and he's like, "All right, let's go to the fantasy." I mean, like that's a hard turn.
Yeah.
Also, he's gonna do a lot of fighting to get anyone at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he walks away alone.
I know. Anyway, set wah.
Harsh
Anyway,
truths. Predictions.
Brianne, thank you so much for being here. And guys, to follow Colton's journey to find love, watch The Bachelor Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
All right, coming up tomorrow, American Gods star Ricky Whittle is here talking all about season 2 of the Star series and the cast's crazy prank war.
Plus, Lacey Chabert is filling us in on her thrilling new Hallmark movie, The Crossword Mysteries, A Puzzle to Die For. We cannot wait for that. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from former Bachelorette Ali Fidotowsky. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, I'm Ali Fidotowsky-Mano, and this is one last thing. The last crazy mom moment I had was probably when I went to the OBGYN and I brought my daughter Molly, and I realized I forgot diapers and she needed a new diaper. So I asked the OBGYN if I could have a maxi pad, and I put it in under her pants, and that was her diaper for a few hours. That was an embarrassing mom moment, but creative, I will say. The last movie I saw in theaters was Aquaman.
I am the protector of the deep.
For the first time in years, my husband and I got a babysitter and went to the movies, which was awesome. The last song stuck in my head was Baby Shark. I am a parent. Baby Shark, do, 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 do. It's all we listen to, so that song will be stuck in my head probably for years to come.